So, this is gonna be a random and new video, kinda, but Metroid Dread. After 19 years, it's a pretty massive, fun game. Um, I'm pretty impressed by everything in the game. Everything makes sense in the game for the most part. Um, ever since I played Metroid Fusion, pretty much dropped my Pokemon obsession that I had in my past. You know, I did the DS online thing, trading, and did the card thing. Uh, I played like constantly. Like I went to some event, some Pokemon related event. That was cool back in the day for like Ruby and Sapphire. I remember that was like super epic. Um, Hold on. I wrote some shit I had to say down. Um, Obviously Metroid Dread delivers, and maybe this is my fault, but I did spoil myself because I watched everybody on YouTube play it. Um, and was given, even before my brother gave it to me for Christmas, which was awesome. My friend, he got Metroid Dread for me because he knew I was a fan, even though he was never going to play it. But kind of rubbed me the wrong way because he had all the artwork and the booklet, and it just was weird. Like he had this culture that he didn't even like play or care about, and he said I got him into Metroid, but he only likes Metroid Prime 3. That's kind of cringe to me. Like, no offense. Like, he's missing out on, like, everything else. Like, Metroid Prime 2 should have been the theme of Prime 3. Did I say Metroid Prime 2 should have been the theme of Prime 3? Okay, yeah. Anyways, I love the manga reference in the Metroid Dread, because I think the online manga, sorry, I say manga, whatever. I think the manga came out to fill in the gaps for Zero Mission, I believe. So it was super amazing that they did the manga stuff, and the native language thing that came out of nowhere. That super massively made up for Other M's portrayal of Samus, right? Um, and for those of you who don't like Other M is canon because Dread makes that apparent. I'm not gonna say where or how, but it's referenced. All right, and one thing, and this is like I don't know if anyone notices this too much when you play the game, but the black goop that's in Dread, like the Chozo you fight, I love that because that's continuing like the goopiness in uh, Metroid 4 with the scientists, the purple gooey scientists that are actually on the art cover. That's an interesting touch because you don't ever see that in Fusion ever again. You don't see like mutated stuff like that on that level moving around, but Dread really points that out, and it's awesome. Um, and Dread kind of reminded me of Super Metroid a little bit because in Dread you fight Chozo, and in Super Metroid you fight Chozo statues. One of them even grabs Samus's missile and throws it back at her. Um, you know, and Ravenbeak just had one hit him in the face, so maybe his armor is less powerful than that statue. um, hmm. There is sort of a big thing I didn't like about the game, and that's that it didn't really continue the events of Metroid 4 at all. Um, we never figure out who the vague Federation figures, like the silhouetted figures in the end of the game, who were talking about Samus behind her back. Um, the consequences of the BSL being destroyed, because I'm pretty sure Adam, I don't know, I don't quite remember what he said, but I think he implied that the Federation would be mad in some way, or at least, I mean, there was no explanation for why she did it. Like, it was all their shit, like, being destroyed by Samus. And I feel like Samus suddenly being kind of chill with the Federation, kind of, and Samus not questioning the Metroids being propagated and cloned on the BSL, that was never brought up. Like, there wasn't any, like, corruption from the Federation that was brought up. Which kind of sucks, because I really feel like that was a big thing I was guessing was going to happen. That Samus was going to be, like, this fugitive. But it never happened. Oh, and we don't really, I feel like the baby Metroid should have been mentioned a little bit when the Metroid suit was coming and phasing over her. Like there should have been like this moment of it's the baby Metroid coming out and being the Metroid suit. And there wouldn't have to be an emotional moment necessarily. But I know it's like different tone and portrayal, but Other M Samus is canon, so I feel like it would have only made sense. And the Mockin DNA that controls the Metroids and keeps them docile, I feel like that should have been the reason why the baby Metroid didn't attack Samus, and that's why she was able to give it over to the Federation scientists. Yeah, I feel like that would have been a cool realization for Samus, like almost existential, that she comes to at the last second and realizes my connection to the baby and the love that I thought it had for me. You know, it was just like war tactics or something. I assume that's why they needed the DNA to control the Metroids, so you could have them around and deal with it that way. And this isn't too big of an issue, but Ravenbeak. I feel like Grey Voice and the other Chozo that gave Samus the Chozo DNA should have been mentioned, but maybe in character it made sense for Ravenbeak not to care about the others that helped propagate Samus. I would have thought Ravenbeak would have had like a scuffle with like Mother Brain or something, or Mother Brain took control over a certain sect after the whole events when Ravenbeak did the SR-388, like in shutting it down and flooding it with that liquid. Yeah. Other than that, I think Metroid Dread was pretty good. I didn't beat it, but I got like 80% of the way. It's a pretty hard game, but it is pretty damn easy with the melee counter, because you can just one-shot everything. I think it is a letdown with the DLC, because it's not really anything new. It's just like you're playing this just different segments of the game now in order and stuff like that, and like difficulty settings. You know, like the boss rush and difficulty settings. Those are the only um, um, DLC addings that they did. Uh, and boss rush is just like you fight the bosses from the game in a row. It's not really that new or added or oh well. Um, it was a good game, although I don't know. It has me feeling very emotionally mixed because damn, because I've been saying how much I don't really care about Metroid Prime 4, you know, because I don't really care about Psylocke because he got his ass kicked so easily by Gorilla and by Samus, I guess. Um, yeah. So I feel like whatever is going to happen with Psylocke if he is in Metroid Prime 4, it's going to be something that he instigates that's greater than himself. It has to be, right? Um, oh, another thing about Metroid Dread that I forgot to say. I kind of wish that the animals from Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion were involved too. That would have been super cute. But, you know, Samus probably wouldn't want them to get involved and get hurt. You know, every friend and person and ally she seems to hook up with and fight with dies. So I feel like these are the only people she's ever saved. Alright, see ya.